Okay, says we're live. Hopefully that is true. Hopefully we're all good. How are we? I took my mom this morning to her doctor's appointment um, with her regular doctor, sort of 2 week follow up from when he had seen her last, and was like, "You look pretty miserable. Let's get you checked out in terms of the stat ultrasound and everything." So he said, "You're doing great, doing much better. You look great compared to where you were last time." Um, we did see, or well, I asked. I was like, Mom was kind of curious about how big the gallstone that she had was, and the surgeon hadn't talked about that because he was more concerned about like just getting the gallbladder out once he saw the condition that it was in. Um, so they didn't have anything on the pathology, but her primary doctor went back and looked at the ultrasound estimates, and the stone estimate was like 12 and a half centimeters. He was like, so it's pretty much golf ball sized, which that was what she wanted to know because her best friend had like a 10 centimeter one. Um, and I think mine was only 7. So, you know, but so she was like, all right, I think I beat my, I'm gonna have to call Mary, let her know that I beat her. And her doctor was like, this is, the competition you don't really want to win. But so also I have Costco lemonade as my hydration of choice for the moment. Um, the ice is all melted, but yeah. So I saw her doctor, had breakfast out with her, and went to Costco. Um, so it was a nice morning of accomplishing a couple of things. So she's doing good. She's got her. Oh, this was also sort of what I wanted to. So next week is chaos. Um, on Monday afternoon, of course, during the streaming time, um, we have an electrician scheduled to come. I can't remember if I told y'all. Um, we had a grounded outlet receptacle, like socket that you plug thing into, um, die in the middle of the night, like a week and a half ago, like just after we got mom home, essentially. Um, and so we, dad's normally great with electricity and stuff. He's got electrical, like out the like tools out the wazoo. He's done electrical work before. Um, so we went to the breaker panel, flip the breaker that says hall bath, um, because when we had somebody out to do the AC and do electrical, we paid them to like check the electrical panel and labeling, and they said everything was good. Everything was not good, friends. Everything was not good because we flipped the breaker. We managed to get the old receptacle off. And we determined that the new receptacle, since it's been like 40 years since they made that kind, has a different attachment style. It's one that instead of wrapping it around the screws, you just like stick it in the back and it like pinches it. Anyway, um, so we cut the curly cues off. But in the process of beginning to try and strip the wires to get that enough of the exposed wire to stick into the new space where it's supposed to go, it started throwing sparks. So we went back to the breaker, and we reread the whole thing, and we were like, maybe it's this other one, which is a different amperage, of course. So we flipped that. Then we tested some of the other outlets that are supposedly on that second breaker, and those were still hot as well. So we were just at the point where like, okay, this is not labeled correctly. We don't know which of these it is. We could throw everything and do it, but don't really want to do that. So we called an electrician, and he's coming out Monday afternoon between 1 and 5. He's like, I'll call you when I'm headed your way. I'm like, okay, great. So Monday, because we asked him to relabel the box properly this time, he's going to be flipping the breakers, which means I can't be streaming because it'll just like go dead. So Monday, I am not going to be here during my normal time. I'm trying to figure out if I can do a morning stream that morning. Maybe. But also Wednesday during streaming time is when we're supposed to have the video call check-in with the hospital surgery team that did mom's gallbladder removal. So again, it'll be during streaming time and I won't be able to be streaming. So again, so Monday and Wednesday, I might do pop-up in the mornings. But Monday and Wednesday, I will not have the normal time unless they get here like early and finish what they need to. But I don't think they're going to, especially on Wednesday, because it's the trauma surgery team, the ER, which means if there's an emergency surgery they have to do, then they're not going to call us till later, which, I mean, I hope there's not an emergency surgery, but chances are very high that there will be, you know, so, so that is all to say that Monday and Wednesday of next week are probably going to be disrupted. Hopefully Fridays will be normal, but I also can't guarantee that because while we were at the doctor, my mom takes a like once in 6 months medication, which is done through shot, like a shot, a needle. And it's for preventing calcium and bone loss. But at the doctor's office this morning, they were like, there's something higher up in like the health insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, like whatever. Something high up in there is no longer, like, they're working on getting approval for the Piedmont system, but haven't gotten it for whatever reason. So they were like, we can put in the order and fax it over to St. Mary's, which is a different system somehow. Anyway, and so we'll have to go over to one of their outpatient facilities to get the shot for mom. And they'll schedule it. They'll call us early next week and schedule it. So I'm like, okay. So chances are that'll probably be on Friday. But I'll try and do it Friday morning so that I can stream during our normal time. Anyway, again, so Monday and Wednesday of this next week, I'm going to try and do morning streams, but I don't know what time yet. So I'll do them sort of like a pop-up. At least that's my plan right now. Anyway, chaos. It's just life. Life happens, and it always happens when they're like, what's your earliest availability during the time that you don't really want it? Always. But hey, you got to get them when they say they can get here. So Monique says, happy Friday. You are home from vacation land, aka California. I hope your vacation was lovely. I hope it was fantastic. Megan is here. Hey, yo. Hello. Are you now officially on summer break? How's it going? Are you poolside, oceanside? What you doing to relax? Stacy says, good afternoon. Hello. Welcome. Keiko says, hi. Hello. You haven't been here in a while. It's okay. You can come whenever you need to or want to. Whenever. Megan says, sounds like you're dealing with a lot. Yeah, it's been a kind of crazy last 2.5 weeks, feels like. Yeah. Monique says, I spent a lot of time with extended family, had lots of fun, went to Disney on Tuesday, and did not want to leave. Yes. Excellent. I'm glad you had fun. Glad you had a lot of fun. Okay, so on the list, the to-do list today is writing. I've got a little bit of a scene left that I want to finish. And then I need to set up August in my journal because I still haven't done that. So I need to set up August. I also still haven't added any tabs to this, but I kind of feel like tabs sticking out of this might ruin the look because I don't have any tabs that match this. If I had some like black and white or gray and gold, that might work, but I feel like tabs might ruin the aesthetic. But still, I do like functional. I do like functional. But yeah, so that's sort of where we are. Is I have got a short scene that needs to be finished, and then I've got a journal that needs to be updated. You've been on summer break for a while. Okay. Yeah, because your semesters / quarters feel like they start at like odd times to me. But on Wednesday, you had a job interview and they want to hire me, but it's a nonprofit, so they need to raise the money first. Ooh, okay. Did they give you an estimated timeline of when that would happen? Because I would hate for them to be just kind of like keep you dangling. So hopefully they gave you like a deadline of like, if you don't hear from us by XYZ, like, sorry and good luck. But I hope it works out. I hope they raise the money. Would that be then sort of like a yearly stint, or like do they have to have the, I don't know, grant money first, I guess? I don't know. Did they explain how they were going to pay your salary? I don't know if that's too, like, I don't know if that's too gauche to ask. If it, because I know nonprofits are often like very good. They want the best of things. They're a lot of times doing great things in terms of charity, in terms of becoming resources for people who need it, like all that kind of stuff. But like when you get down to it, I know a lot of nonprofits fail because of the financial side of things, or they struggle, especially when finances aren't transparent. And so, like, I've always been kind of curious about like how are you getting the money? How are you making sure that you maintain enough money to pay the salary over time? So, you love the Ouija, by the way. Yes, me too. It's funny. I think the longer I have it and use it, the more I like it. Because initially when I got it, I was like, oh, it's really like, it's definitely darker than I thought it was going to be, because a lot of the studio shots were done with the lighting really high so that you could see all of the like indentations and oh gosh, there we go. So you could see all of the design. And then when you get it home and you're like under your own light or whatever, it doesn't look the same as with studio lights. And so initially I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. But the more I see it and use it, the more I like it, which is great, because I would hate for it to be the opposite. You still need to tell them what your desired pay is if you have no flipping clue. Okay. Have you been able to look up some not commensurate, some comparable titles on like Glassdoor? Are they on Glassdoor? Did they have a previous staff member who is, or is there like a sister nonprofit organization that has your title that they would be giving you? I would look at sort of Glassdoor or whatever, Open Door, Glassdoor. I think it might be Open Door. What is it? Open door salary. Okay, so it might be a different website in California, but like there's open.ga.gov, there's transparency.ky.gov for Kentucky. Of course, those are like typically state institutes, which usually pay less than private. So it might be comparable to an NPO. So you may, I don't know what California's version of that would be, but you could look it up and see if you can like get a couple ideas of salary numbers. Hopefully that might be a clue. That's right. You were ahead of the game, Monique. You set up August before you left, which is great. And you made plans to have therapy this coming Tuesday. Did you do that because you were going to see family members that you might need some therapy after the fact? Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just your ongoing regular therapies. This semester has definitely started odd times. Yeah. Monique says, today I want to figure out how to show some funny family dynamics for your gay wedding novel. Yes. Hopefully your family gave you lots of inspiration. Hopefully they're going to tell you soon you're friends with one person's wife so you can bug her if you hear nothing. Yes. Always nice to have a connection. They're first going to hire you as a contractor. Gotcha. Which I think contractors are usually 1 year at least. And then eventually the salary position when they can afford it. Okay. As a contract, you would be working part-time. Gotcha. But at least it's your foot in the door. You did get inspired by your recent vacation. Yes. Your cousins and you tease and troll each other all the time, but at the end of the day, we all love and care for each other. Yes. But that's not something everybody can understand. So how can you show a family that riffs on each other without it being mean-spirited? Because I think you have to also intersperse with that mean talk. You have to show the actions that are taking care of each other. So like they can be riffing about, I don't know, the like funky sneakers that you are wearing, but like hand you a Band-Aid because you've got to protect your heels from blisters because your shoes are new. Like, or make sure that there's an extra bottle of water because Nanny always gets thirsty and has to take her pills. Like little things. Somebody has like a special diet. And so making sure that they have something in the hotel or something in the rented house that they can eat. Like small things, small actions that sort of like provide that loving care. Yeah, Megan says body language also, yeah, so smiling, hugging, giving somebody like a little quick shoulder massage, like, actions that show love. Average salaries are so high you have no clue if they can afford it, especially at the California rates. Yeah, California rates are pretty high. Monique says, well, for me, it's been a while and you need to have a chat with your therapist before she has her baby in September anyway. Okay. Yeah. True. One example of your extended family's weird sense of humor. Your cousin told your parents that he was lost at Disney and his sister says he can stay lost. He was kidding, of course. Yes. Nudge in the ribs. Evening. Hello, Mass. Welcome. Welcome. Whoopee cushions. Whoopee cushions are always fun. All right. Let's do a couple of things. We've got the cats. We've got some toe beans. Ooh, okay. Anybody, if you pull the Hanged Man today, let me know. Because we have a card that, all right, we have a cat that is functioning as the Hanged Man. Okay. We also have a snake for the critter of the day. Let's see, that's number 55. Get this all set up. Oh, did I talk about? No, I didn't talk about the poll. The poll for today is if you were to rename August, like what would you rename it? And so I went searching for some of the different names of like the moons, because that was how people used to tell time, was by which moon you were at, that kind of thing. So we have the Leo moon or month, Leo. We have the Sturgeon moon or month, the green corn moon or month, or the dispute moon or month. So we have the Leo, which is the astrological. We have the Sturgeon, which is what the month is. Well, what the moon is called. I think it's based on American Indigenous. And then we have the green corn moon, which is an alternate Indigenous moon name. And then we have the dispute moon, which I think was Celtic origin. So yeah. And then when is the, was it the full moon? When was it? Come on. July 29th was our full moon. Yeah, so just a couple of days past. Monique says, since it's hard for me to convey the verbal trolling, he will research office pranks. Yeah, with pranks, you have to be careful, though, because a lot of times pranks are not real fun or funny for the person that they are being played on. So you have to be careful with those. But yeah. Monique pulled the Hangman yesterday for a 3-card spread. Kara pulled the Hangman for the full moon reading on the 29th. Nice. Fez cries in Virgo. Oh no. Oh. Today's card is the 2 of Pentacles. 2 is balance. Pentacles is often the card of sort of like earthly material things, but it can also be family, sort of like family units. Maybe the family can quote sitcom lines as inside of jokes. Possibly. All right, so the reason I was saying Hanged Man is because we have try looking at life from a different perspective. So here is our Hanged Man cat. Look at those toe beans. Just want to squish him. So cute. And then we have 2 kitties. One is floofier than the other. It says, profound wisdom. If you want to get to know someone, share your seat with them. If you really want to get to know someone, share your litter box. Look how floofy one of those is compared to the other. But the slightly less floofy one, sorry, I'm trying to get it to go back into focus, has like a dark spot leading into its nose, and it just looks so boopable. They're so cute. So cute. 2 of Pentacles usually means balancing of finances. Yeah. All right, so we have 55, which is the snake, which I have the trigger warning for streams in case you do not like the danger noodles. Time to heal is the main message. So I'm going to show the snake in 3, 2, 1, snake on the screen. Here's our snake, our snaky snake. All right, snake has been covered. Time to heal. All of us need healing at times, and when the snake appears, it is time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself the space to nourish your own well-being. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into the new way of being, for vitality is rising within you. This might be a good time to honor the work that you have already done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you, within those you care about, and within your community. Celebrate together how far all of you have come in your healing journey and all that you have created. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, and well-being, and open the door for further healing to occur. So there you go. Stace says, love the kitties. And today's card does match the Bujo. Yes, it does. It does indeed. The snake definitely applies to you. Nobody talks about how there's a bit of time after travel to recover from. Yeah. Especially travel to different time zones. Just long travel in general. Maz does like snakes. Good. I am glad. Okay, we're going to start with the rubber duckies. I'm going to make sure I've got the volume where we can hear it when it ends. All right. Okay, I think we are ready to do. You're also in the UK, so you're a little safer than some of the other places. True. All right, let's do this. 1, save your document or pull it up. That's number 1. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate with. Go ahead and take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. If I can get it back to where it's supposed to be. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How do we do? I think I want to take that off. Not sure I like it. So I started setting up for August. I am using sort of like one of the lighter colored botanical set. And it's sort of like extra bits. As well as I had some of the Alphonse Mucha stickers left from like a purchase probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I had some of these sort of like teal and foil, a little bit more autumny colored. But here is my my overall border for what I'm going to be doing for August. So I'll put the calendar on this page spread. So that's sort of the vibe for this month, as opposed to last month was very much very much matching the cover of and I do need to go back in there and sort of fill in a couple things. But yeah, so this month, a little bit of lighter colored tones, just to have a little bit of a distinction between months, since I do not have tabs at the moment. Hopefully this will help. But yeah, so I tore one of the wide washi tapes in half to use as the vertical text border situation. And then I used skinnier tape for the horizontal at the top and the bottom. So we had a little bit of conversation about snakes. Because Maz said, I do like snakes. We had the snake card. Kara says, I don't mind snakes, but we do have to watch out for rattlesnakes in the area. Yeah, very true. When I was walking outside and around the house yesterday, I saw a little, like, very skinny snake skin shed. It was like maybe yay long. So it's pretty small. I think it's probably like a green garden snake. I don't have any evidence to back that up, but I think that's probably what it is. Stacy says, I like seeing snakes. I don't necessarily like seeing them in nature. You're smart enough to keep your distance, though. Yeah. But your roommate had a ball python that you love to carry around. So is it ball as in like a bouncy ball, or is it bald as in no hair? Because I always thought it was bald as in no hair. But like snakes don't have hair, so I don't know like why they would be called bald. So, but I guess that's just I always thought it was no hair snake. I don't know. Heather says, hello. Hello. Welcome. Stacy says, I was distracted by a video, so I only got words or so. A few words or so, which is more than yesterday. So it's improvement. Yes. Yes, yes. Good. Monique says, it's a tall order, but I'm hoping to write 1,000 words today. You used a Simpson reference in the scene that you're currently writing. Nice. You believe it's ball because it curls up into a ball? That would make more sense than a snake having no hair, because pretty much all snakes have no hair. So I would think that the ball, as in bouncy ball, makes more sense. $150 words. Your numlock was activated. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. We need to figure out how many weeks are in August. How many pages am I going to need? 2, 3, 4, basically 4 weeks in August. Okay. So I will need either 4 or 8 for the weekly pages, depending on how much I want. And then 1 for the reflection at the end. So, but I also want to go ahead and pencil in the calendar so I can start. Because I said, I was like, oh, Monday morning, we'll do a pop-up then. I forgot I have an appointment Monday morning. So shouldn't take too long though. So maybe like 10 a.m. my time, I could do a pop-up. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. Again, no promises because chaos. My life is chaos at the moment, but that's okay. I do not anticipate having the electrician here until after 1 p.m. Because my guess is he's going to take lunch before he comes to us. So, all right. We've had the rubber ducky, and we need another timer. Make it big. Nope, I don't need to make it big yet until I share it. That's the order that it goes in, Jules. Hello. Okay, I think I've got it right now. Okay, so don't forget to do your self-promo and make sure that you answer the chat poll as to if you were going to rename the month of August based on the different names of the moon, Leo, Sturgeon, Green Corn, or Dispute. Which of those would you name it if you were going to rename August? Okay, so that's the poll. Don't forget to do your self-promo. Let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How we doing? I am a little closer to being done with this. Not real close. I did have to go answer a phone call. Let me take this off. Oh, we are very out of focus. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. I wonder why it got so out of whack. No. Let's try it again. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, so I found a marker that I thought had run dry and was completely dead. Apparently I did pick up a copy of it. So now I'm wondering, was it a different one that I wanted to pick up? I don't know. Anyway, so I do have the calendar boxed in. I've got the Mucha. I've got sort of like a bronzy gold lace 08 for August. That was part of the same pack as those sort of like teal and bronzy colored flowers. Got another one of the Alphonse pictures. The flower pack has a little bit more teal colored than just sort of like the pale olivey green in the washi tape. So I'm trying to kind of figure out where I want accents of color and which ones. But I think I'm going to leave the teal out of it, with the exception of like the stickers for the most part. They'll be my extra sort of like deep pop of color. That'll be okay. Yeah. So, but now I need to figure out, now that I've done a different style, because I don't normally have the full border around everything. So now I need to figure out, I think over here, I'm going to have the list of appointments. And here is for like next month, because I always need that. But I guess I won't have a monthly priority list on here necessarily, which would be fine. That's fine. I can have it on the next page if I want. So just kind of contemplating as I'm decorating and getting through some stuff. So I've got a bunch of the sort of like tall Alphonse Mucha stickers. I think I have some other shapes that are still in my sticker book, but I'm not sure that I want to dig them out. So yeah, but the problem is, like, there's only a couple that have sort of like more of those hints of green. I've got plenty that have sort of like the pinks and the gold colors, but not all of them have those pops of green, or in sort of like the muted green. Initially, I was gonna do this one, which has sort of like a hint of the muted green in the background of the... You're just not focusing today. I wonder why. I don't know. Maybe it's got ADHD. But I eventually went with the one that is up top there, just because she's so gorgeous. And she's got that pop of teal behind her hair that really complements the flowers there. But I know I've got some that are like arch shaped with a flat bottom. And I think I have a couple circles in my sticker book. So I could go digging and find more, I'm sure. But these are the ones that I think slipped out the last time I opened my notebook, my sticker notebook, binder, whatever we want to call it. Funky stopped by. Can't stay because Funky has more meetings. But wanted to pop in and say hello. So hopefully Funky has enough coffee to sustain all the way through the meetings. Kara has new book promos up on Reader's Roost, so there's the link for that. Excellent. Monique says, I think I'm going to make lunch after the sprint, then get back to writing. You'll be happy if you hit 700. You did the math again. Gotcha. And also, you're already at 400 words for the day, so only 300 to go. Nice. Headed off to make lunch. Maz picked some washi for your journal. Excellent. Though it's printables rather than so fancy. I don't have a color printer. So anything that I printed would have to be in black and white. So I tend to stay away from the printable stickers because they could only be in black and white. So I'm like, I like color. Let me pay for some fun stickers and washi. So it's lovely. Thank you. You have some of the Mucha stickers. Yes, you should find them. I have a couple on so I've mixed the Mucha and some of the tarot inspired cards. My laptop is very dusty. So if I show y'all, no judging. I'm gonna move you. So please look away if you get seasick. Okay. These are the 4 that I have chosen for my laptop. So I have the little crow. I have this lady. I have a mage. And I have another lady. So I'm going to move you again. There we go. Apologies if I made you seasick. You should be good. So those are the 4 that I picked for my laptop. So they're always in view. So, ooh, Stacey won the rough draft challenge on Wednesday. Yay! So these are just extra words to try and finish this novella. Nice. Not stickers. You print out you print out pages like the year at a glance, monthly goals. Stickers are on your list. You have a big office printer because you want to be able to scan large amounts of pages at a time. Gotcha. I will say I've gotten a lot of my stickers from Journal Say, but a decent number of theirs, I have a not so sneaky suspicion that some of them use AI. So you kind of have to hunt for the ones that are not, the ones that have been illustrated. So, but I do like their prices a whole lot. So they're gorgeous. They are. I like those. I think I've used up most of that pack of tarot inspired stickers, so I'll have to find another one. But not right now because I'm trying to use up what I've got. Kara just published a new card reading video, so there's a link for that. Is that for the full moon on the 29th? I think that's what you mentioned before. Your boyfriend's now, though, and his Canon won't print duplex. Oh, yeah. Duplex is kind of important on 100 GSM. You like 120, and we'll be experimenting with 160 GSM. I like the 160 in terms of if you're using markers. If you're not using markers or highlighter where you're going to go over a couple of times, 120 is fine. 100 is fine. The other thing is the flare pens, like these Papermates, where they're the felt. Those also tend to bleed with the lighter paper GSM. So I think it depends on what you prefer to write with or highlight with. And because I do like my Tombow markers a whole lot. I do like the heavier weight paper. You tried Journal Say based on what somebody else had said on here? Yeah. There are some pretty things, but when you got them, a lot of them did look AI. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure Temu is any better. And based on, like, I've seen ads on Instagram come through for like Desk Cosmo and Core Krea or whatever, and they look exactly like the stuff that Journal Say is putting out. So I don't know if they're getting it all, if they're all getting it from AliExpress or what, which is, it's very possible, or Alibaba, whatever, whichever one is the business one, rather than an individual. All right, let's get back to work. Also, if y'all did not see Kate and Becca's announcement, that they are going to be co-writing a story, it's going to be very exciting. So y'all should check out Kate and Becca's announcement from, was it yesterday? Or was it Wednesday? I can't remember. My days are bleeding together, y'all. It's bad. Interesting. So I'm looking at my Dawdling Writer page, and my profile picture is not loading. I don't know what's going on with that. Don't know. Let's see. Let's do the purple teapot. Okay. Make it big. Change this to third sprint. All right, here we go. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to sip on. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How did we do during that sprint? I have gotten the border most of the way done for the next page. I also added a couple more decorations to the calendar page and added a couple more dates. Figured out the sections. So it still looks sort of blank in areas, but here's the pretty much finished cover / calendar page. And then I have started on the first spread for priority tasking type of stuff. I might just do that there. It's not a bad placement. Because all of these stickers have essentially like lace hearts. And I'm like, I don't really want the hearts. I just want the flowers. Some of them have script on there. You can kind of see in the foil. Don't really want the script. Just want the flowers. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do that. Like that. So yeah. So I got a little bit of writing done during the first sprint, and then I figured out which of these washi tapes that I wanted to use and have been setting up August. So it's not been like a super productive writing session necessarily, but it has been a pretty productive decision and planning standpoint type of. So as soon as I sort of finish plugging in some of these, then I will feel pretty good about getting this set up. I do have, I guess I have kind of an idea of where I want style-wise the weeklies to go. Because I am thinking about switching up my planning, because I've been having sort of like long vertical columns already pre-made. And that has worked for me for a while, but when my life gets crazy busy and I don't like get into my journal and like actually do anything during the week, it feels like kind of like waste of space, you know. So I am trying to figure out how to rearrange my planning to be much more fluid, I guess. To be able to change, because like next week is going to be again chaotic, because I have like a 3 hour and a 4 hour window in which to expect things to happen, but like no real tie downs. Also going to be waiting on a phone call to schedule when to go over and do that medical appointment for my mom. And so things are just kind of like in flux, and I feel like I can't really plan much when things are in flux. And so I just kind of have to figure out how to wing it a bit better in the planner, essentially. Stacy says, I need about 50 more words to get my minimum goal of 1K. I think I can get in just a few more extra minutes. Maybe need 10 minutes to get it. Matt says, I cut some paper to make notes and then unsuccessfully looked for books. I know how that goes. I know how that goes. Okay, it is 3:25. I could go for one more sprint if y'all want. If y'all think you want to stick around for another, let's see, 25 minutes. That way we could finish before the top of the hour, say our goodbyes, and still leave you some time before the 4 o'clock sprints start. How do you feel about that? I'm thinking our cute little robot timer. Okay, Stacy's game, Maz's game. All right, cool. All right, let's do this. We've got one more sprint in us. So number 1, save your document. 2 is take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3 is straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 25 minutes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How did we do? Did we do okay? Did we manage? I saw Stacy manage to get your 1K for the day, which is awesome. And I am slowly gone through. I've what have I done? I have picked several. I've done the 5 double page spreads in terms of border. 1 for each week plus 1 for reflection or overflow. If I can get this to work, that'd be great. Come on. There we go. These have like really thick backings. Okay, that one is already mostly done. Okay. I'm trying to sort of figure out which. I'm trying to use up most of my Mucha stickers as well, so I can buy some more. But also, not really. I'm just trying to use up what I have. And I think the floral pieces go really well with Mucha pieces. So I've gotten 1 border, I think, pretty much complete. Lots of stickers, very collagey. And then I've gotten the border plus the Mucha stickers. Like this one doesn't have much green or blue on it, but it's very contrasting, so it pops. Whereas this one has a little bit more of the same sort of beige tone. And then like this one it picks up some of the blue green that's going to be in these stickers. So got that. And so I've gone ahead and I've done the border for all 5 double page spreads. And I have just a little bit left of the I have yay much left of the border that is used for the top and bottom. So if I need to do an additional page, I might be able to do at least 1 page, if not a double page. I don't think I'll have quite enough for a double, but I will have enough for at least a single page. So, and then I've got a couple of the contrasting long stickers left. And I've got a couple of contrasting Mucha stickers that are like different shapes. But for the most part, I've at least got the frame done. So what I'll do is I will split each of these pages in half vertically. And then that way I can have a weekly to-do list or weekly priority list that I brainstorm, and then just kind of go day by day in the space that's left, rather than like setting up and having a set amount of page for the week or for each day. So, but here Stacy said, I got my 1K. Yay! Excellent. Andy said, well done, Stacy. It's amazing. Maz also says, oh, well done. Maz got a little bit done. Excellent. Good. Andy also got a bit of work done. Woohoo! You'll get more done later today, but you need to tinker with the piano for a little bit. Yes. Take a break. You deserve it. You've gotten a little over 1,300 words. Nice. And all the words are still coming. You wonder if you can actually get this done before the end of the day. Ooh, it's a novella and you're close to the end. It's a very nice goal, but don't burn yourself out, but maybe. Okay, I at least have a really good head start on getting this set up for the month, which is great. I've got one piece of the side border that I cut a little, like a smidge too short. So I might use that as sort of like maybe a diagonal on the corner on a different spread, something like that. Not really sure. So, but yeah, we are getting some things done, which is great. That's sort of the goal, right? Get things done. I'm gonna put a little clothespin to keep that shut for right now. So, all right, let me end the poll. 50% of the votes would say if you had to rename August, we would rename it Leo. 34% would say green corn, so like green corn moon, green corn month, followed by 8% tied for sturgeon or dispute. Nice. I have to say I'm not real surprised about that, because Leo and green corn are slightly more appealing than a fish or arguments. But yeah, so all right, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm gonna hit save on the little bit of words that I got, and I am gonna take a little bit of a stand up and walk around break before I come back and join somebody else's stream to do a little bit more on my journal. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget, I will not be here at the normal time on Monday and Wednesday. I'm going to try and do a pop-up, but we'll see. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'm going to end the stream. So, bye.